welcome back to Forza Horizon 4 with another LEGO lap time. And, well, last time I had a very sensible vehicle, being the Lola T7, actually doing quite well. I'm not so sure about this. Hummer H1 Alpha Wagon. It's a beast. In more ways than one. It's very large, very slow, and extremely heavy. But we do at least get the full Forza Aero, which is nice. One other big problem, though. We only get off-road tires. Now, granted, they are massive off-road tires. 3, 4, 5s all around is quite big. But, yeah, it's gonna be tricky. This vehicle can get to the class limit. I did double-check that. It's going to be close. I'm going to try not to use the Lamborghini engine, because I really don't want to. But we shall see. Now, the thing weighs 8 tons. You're going to want the rally springs just because stiffening. I'm not saying, let's see, stiffening, but it's a little bit better, I think. It's a little bit better. We do want the roll cage. I know we do. And we're going to take we're going to take a full ton out, actually, is what we're going to do. We're still at 6,000 pounds, so we're going to need a lot of power. Now, I am very tempted to run this engine. If it can get to S1 class, I am extremely tempted to run this engine right here. Because of many thousands of torque. It's not going to reach S1 class, it's very irritating. However, that is an immense amount of torque. That's 1,400 pounds of torque, all from that turbocharger. That turbocharger is insane. Holy crap. However, it's only an A-class. We need to get to S1. So we're going to go for an engine swap. We have the 6.2-liter V8, 8.4-liter V10, V12, or the racing V8. I'm going to go for the racing V8. No, I'm gonna go for the V10. I'm gonna go for the V10, because American, you know? American. This is an American vehicle. We should use the American V10 from the Viper. I mean, come on, it's only patriotic here. We're gonna have a lot of power. We're gonna have an immense amount of power. Now, we're gonna have over 1,000 horsepower. My goal is to get as much weight out of the vehicle as humanly possible, so I'm gonna put all these parts on. Like so, now I go over here and, not that one, I already added that. Now I need to hopefully add these on. Is that enough? It's close. Do I have any other parts on? No, have on, no. No. Right. You. And, I guess you. I mean, the vehicle is so heavy. I mean, I'm actually going to take that off because I want to save some semblance of weight in this vehicle. Yeah, it's immense. Everything about this vehicle is massive. It's got 1,122 horsepower. It's got 991 foot-pounds of torque, so basically 1,000 torque. It does weigh under 3 tons, though. It does weigh under 3 tons. It also costs $100,000. But, you know, it's a good thing I have 38 million, so I don't really care. I'm just hoping not to be last. Okay. Hummer H1 Alpha Wagon. This is going to be interesting. Again, my only goal is not to be last. That means a 59.4, if I recall, 59.4, maybe 59.3, from the BMW M3. This has been a very close series so far. All of them have been in the 59, to the exception of the Lola, which is a 58.7, so it's still pretty close. The entire field is separated by less than a second, so it's a pretty close series. I don't think this is gonna do too hot though. I mean, doesn't even fit. It does actually fit in the little thing, in the little starting grid, which is, you know, good. But, yeah. It's a bit of a big vehicle. To be honest, I don't know how it got, I guess, maybe straight line speed, which, to be fair, this does have a very high-speed zone where you don't really brake. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. First gear is very long. But the acceleration ain't too shabby. You know, credit where it's due for the big Hummer. Credit where it's due. Ooh, that is 128 miles an hour in a Hummer. And we do have all-wheel drive. Now we do have rally tires, which is not ideal, but it's also not terrible. Rally tires on tarmac, well, they're about as good as maybe sport tires, street tires around that area. So, ooh, that's a lot of speed to a braking zone. So yeah, they're actually not as terrible as it sounds. And actually, this vehicle isn't that bad accelerating. I mean, the turning is a bit lacking, but it's a big truck. What you expect. That being said, it's nowhere near as terrible as I thought it would be. I don't know why I got an achievement for that. Hey, hi, yeah, I'm just gonna drift my Hummer if you don't mind. Right, let's see how fast we go. You're hitting 130 on the straightaway on the starting run, so you should have mega speed in the Hummer. Mega speed. 135 miles an hour in a Hummer. Getting on the brakes. And most importantly of all, the Hummer actually stops. Which is a bit surprising. Now, granted, I messed up the braking point a little bit, but it does actually stop pretty well. Which is surprising. You know, it is surprising that the Hummer isn't the worst vehicle I've ever driven. I've driven significantly worse vehicles than the Hummer. So, you know, that being said, it does get a fair amount of oversteer. Surprise oversteer. It's very good and then it's not very good. So it's kind of a, if you're under the boundary or on the boundary, you're fine. The minute you step over said boundary, it does like to slide, like so. It's a very drifty Hummer. No one has ever said that before in their entire life. I can guarantee you that. Let's see, so a relatively scruffy run is a 101.7. Right. 137 miles an hour in the Hummer. Again, quite impressive. Getting on the brakes. The brakes are probably the most impressive thing by far because, well, yes, we did take over a ton out of the vehicle's weight. It's still, you know, 5,800 pounds. It's still nearly twice the weight of the GTR. In fact, it is twice the weight of the GTR. That's absurd. It's almost 3 times the weight of the Mini. And it's actually, you know, braking and stopping relatively well. Now, granted, it's not a Lotus 340R, but, you know, for a Hummer, it's pretty impressive. If we can do a 1 minute or below, I'll be very impressed with this vehicle. I'll be absurdly impressed with this vehicle. Again, my only goal is to not be last. We'll see how feasible that is. It's not looking too feasible, unfortunately, because it is a 1 minute dead. It is a 1 minute dead. 1 minute 6 to be exact. But it's just not fast enough. It can't carry the corner speed as you would expect from a big, well, military vehicle. That's a bit wide, Hummer. That is a fair bit wide. So yeah, this lap's done. Yay. But yeah, we're carrying, you know, 68, 70 miles an hour through there, which is not that far off the BMW. Not that far off at all. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I got one more lap to try and go any faster. I want to shave off 0.6 of a second. I don't know if I'm going to be able to without pushing really hard and risking pushing the vehicle too hard. However, I would really like to get a sub 1 minute lap time. Because that would just be funny, you know? Shaving off 0.6 of a second is not, truth be told, it's not completely unreasonable for shaving off time. It's not the most ridiculous time shave I've ever had to do in order to beat a lap time of some kind. So it's not an unfeasible lap, you know? And what's nice is you can go flat out of every single corner, despite having significantly more power than literally everything, than literally everything else on the grid, by far. I mean, this has twice the power of the Nissan, and it has 4 times the power, near enough, of the Mini. That's a substantial power figure. to the point where the power-to-weight ratio on this vehicle is almost as good as the Mini, actually. Which is a little bit weird, because it's a Hummer. And it weighs 6,000 pounds, but whatever. Oh, I'm not sure it's going to be faster. It's not going to be a sub 1 minute, maybe? Oh, it was close. I think it was fast. It wasn't fast enough. What was it? Hey! It did a sub 1 minute. I'm so proud of it. Yes! Ha ha ha! Yes! The 6,000 pound Hummer did a sub 1 minute lap. I shaved off 0.8 of a second on that thing. Ha ha ha! Ah, yes! That is last place, by quite some margin, by almost a second actually, over a second. However, that is a win. That is a leaderboard in my mind, because it's so out of the... It's actually not terrible to drive. That's the funny thing. The Hummer is not terrible to drive in any way, shape, or form. And I love that, because, yeah, it gets oversteer, but it's controllable. It's an actually controllable vehicle that did a sub 1 minute lap of this racetrack, and it's a 6,000 pound Hummer. Oh, I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. That put a smile on my face. I'm very happy with that. But that is gonna be it for this episode of Forza Horizon 4. I'll be back with more.